Yo, what's good, man? This is your boy at DFSMasterMind _ over on Twitter. Thank you for clicking on the video. I appreciate your time. Today's date is June the 12th. It's a new week, man, and I'm so happy to say that. Last week, I had probably one of my worst weeks ever as far as DFS, MLB. Like a week long, my win rate was very, very low. I actually ran through a lot of money on my account, and I'm gonna have to make a deposit, man. Like I've been struggling. I think I was dealing with some personal issues, man. I had a death in my family. I had things not going my way. But I don't want to put all that negativity on y'all. Y'all don't need to carry that around. I'm good, man. I'm back. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to look forward to getting better and improving. I'm here showing my process. And we about to get it, man. I'm going to go from the worst week to the best week, man. Let's get it. Like I said, man, we got 9 games we need to talk about. I'm not going to talk about all of them, but I'm going to give you my version of quick hits. I'm going to give you my top pitching, my top stacks, and then I'm going to give you my 3 locks for tonight's slate. Starting off with pitching, man. We have some big arms, man, on the slate. I think Strasburg, he should be the chalk for sure, but he's the most expensive. He's very costly. He's going up against the Braves, man. I think he should have a really, really good game. Then next big arm, we got Jacob deGrom on the slate. He's going up against the Cubbies. That game is in New York. The wind is blowing out at 12 miles per hour. I actually think he's not in a terrible spot, but for that money, I don't want to bet against the Cubs, man. The Cubs are actually starting to hit the ball pretty decent. They play better when they're at home. It seems like they're in New York. Maybe Jacob deGrom comes out and dominates, but I'm not putting my money there. I'm a little scared off of that one. Then we have Yu Darvish, man, another great arm, elite arm, top flight pitcher, but he's going up against a rivalry game versus the Astros, man. Y'all know I love my Houston Astros, so I will not be taking any of Yu Darvish. It's a weird one, man. Like, we have really decent arms. Some of the matchups are not the greatest. I talked about those arms. I'm not using any of those guys, man. I went out and found 4 other pitchers that I think are in really good situations, and those are ones I want to talk about. Starting off, man, I'm gonna start off with. I was about to start off with my my long shot of the night, but I don't want to scare y'all away. So I'm gonna give you a more secure pitcher starting off with. I like Rick Porcello, man. I think he has a decent, fair price. He's going up against the Phillies. Now, I know it's worth noting that the Phillies have been picking it up, man. Herrera has been balling. Howie Kendrick has been seeing the ball pretty well. You got Tommy Joseph, some power. But I think overall, Rick Porcello should be able to handle these guys. And the reason I like him, I'm so high on him, is because I know Boston will win the game, and I know he'll get a quality start. And I think the K upside is there too. He's going to be facing a lot of right-handers tonight. I think he's in a fairly decent spot. So I'll put him as kind of like my top-tier pitcher. If I pay up for pitcher, I'll be using Rick Porcello. Next. These next couple ones, man, they're a little scary. But, I'm going to trust my research, man. I've been looking in the numbers all morning. And these are the people, these are the people that made the final cut. These are people I'm going to be rocking with. So next, I got Joe Musgrove, man. And it hurts. It hurts saying this, man, because at times I actually target this guy, man. But I think today, I think we could see somewhat of a pitcher's duel, man. But I do think the Astros will give my man enough support to to get the dub. That's first off. So that's 6 points right there. I think he'll get the quality start. I said that backwards. A win is 4 points. Quality start is 6. I think he'll get both of those in his favor. And I do think I was looking at some of the Rangers' numbers, and for the past 3 days, they've been striking out at around 13 at 12 and 11%. And just to put that in context, that's one of the highest on the in the MLB in the last 3 days. The only team that's higher is Milwaukee. They had a real bad game the other day. They struck out a ton. Robbie Ray went ham on them guys. But, just to put that in context, man, they're not seeing the ball too well. They eventually got to Scherzer yesterday and came up with the dub. But Scherzer has some really impeccable baseball he played yesterday. And I think we can catch him while they're a little down, man. So I'm going to take a chance on him. I do think he's in a decent spot. K rate is around 20%, man. So I'm hoping for the best. Besides, like, Nomar Mazara, he'll hit a solo home run every once in a while. But I'm not too worried about him because the rest of the times he'll strike out. Nomar Mazara and Beltre, they're really the two bats that scares me. Joey Gallo has some nice power, but he tends to strike out a lot. Luke Roy he rarely strikes out, but he barely, gets hits, man. He just do pop-ups and hit the ball to, directly at a defender. So I think there's some merit to going with Joe Musgrove today. I like him. I think he's decent. My next pitcher, it's going to get even scarier, man. I'm telling you. It's going to get even scarier. I'm looking at Wade Miley on the road, man, versus the White Sox. Once again, man, pitching matchup. He's going up against Pelfrey. So I think Baltimore will definitely give him enough run support to get the dub. I think he can get the quality start. It's the White Sox, man. They strike out middle of the pack. People are not really scared of the White Sox. They don't overpower you. They don't run the bases well. They're just middle of the pack, man. I think Wade Miley's in a decent spot. He's a decent arm. Got some K upside there. I think he should be fine. That's my third pitcher. And then the last pitcher, but the pitcher that surprisingly I'm the highest on, probably besides Porcello, is Luis Perdomo, man. I'm going in, man. It's San Diego ballpark. We all know it favors pitchers. We're going up against the Cincinnati Reds. He's facing Bronson Arroyo. So once again, we're going to get that 10 points with a quality start and a W. To look at the Cincinnati Reds, they've been striking out around 9% and 8% over the last 3 days. So I think, and if you look at Perdomo's numbers, man, he's been bringing the K stuff, man. I'm gonna read off his game log really quick. And he's a lot better on the not on the road, at home. I would never even look at him on the road. But as far as home games, last home game versus Chicago, the man went 7 innings, only 4 strikeouts, but he only gave up 1 earned run. Another example versus Arizona. Arizona, he got lit the hell up at Arizona. The game I was looking at was Milwaukee, which is a pretty decent team. We know they strike out, towards the top of the pack. And he was able to pull 9 strikeouts, gave up 3 runs, but ended up with 40 points, 40 FanDuel points. And yeah, if you just go down his game log, he has another game where he has 7 Ks. Like, the K upside is there. And I think he's in a decent situation, man. Like I said, I know Bronson Arroyo is going to give it up. So I think he'll get that quality start and a win. That's a big part when I'm looking for my pitchers. If I can go ahead and get that quality start in the dub, And we can just strikeouts are just upside, man. And I think he'll be able to last a few innings, man. I think he should go into the 7th, and he's a lot better on the at home. So I'm gonna lock him in, man. I'm really high on this man tonight. I'm gonna use him like my late night hammer. So yeah, man, that's gonna do it for pitching. As far as my stacks, man, I'm going to give you 3 stacks that I'm in love with. I'm going to use these stacks like I've never used stacks, man. I think my whole team is going to be made up of these guys. But I have one lock that I'm locking in all of my lineups, and he's not with this stack, and I'll give you that later. But the 3 stacks I'm using, man, I like a Baltimore stack going up against Pelfrey. I think they're very much in play. Hopefully, we get Manny Machado back in that lineup so he can do some damage versus Pelfrey. They have an implied run total of 5.4, man. I think it's a really, really good spot. I'm looking at them. Of course, we cannot turn our heads from Boston. We got wind blowing out in Boston, which is another reason I was a little iffy about Porcello, man. But I think he's a ground ball pitcher. He should be able to limit the damage. But as far as Jared Eichhoff, we are going to target this man with Boston. They have an implied run total of 6.3. We're going to be all over that, man. I like a lot of Boston bats. And last but not least, last stack of the day is Washington for me, man. We got wind blowing out in Washington. They're going up against Mike Fidowitz. I'm not sure the pronunciation on that. But the man, he's actually he's a decent pitcher. If you're just looking at it from a baseball perspective, he has a really nice heater. But these Washington hitters are very disciplined, and he's going to have to move it. He's going to have to move it around the zone. And if he gets caught leaving anything in the zone, I look for the big bats in Zimmerman, Harper, Murphy, Rendon. These guys are going to rock them, man. So I'm all in on a Washington stack as well. And now I'm going to give you my 3 locks, man. I'm going to give you 3 of my locks, my personal favorite bats tonight. And they're a little expensive, man. I'm gonna be honest. That's why I'm so high on Perdomo, because I'm going to try to save me some money on the pitching end and and get some of these bats, man, who are they're just too hot, man. Of course, we got to talk about Andrew McCutchen going up against a lefty. Pittsburgh, they've been playing pretty decent baseball, man. They've been putting up a ton of runs. Tonight they have an implied run total of 4.9. He's going up against Cal Freeland. I almost was looking at Pittsburgh as a stacking option, but I think I respect Freeland a little more. A little more than I respect the Pirates offense. I'm not saying that, they won't show up tonight, but I do think Freeland is a very, very decent pitcher. So I'm not going to be all over it, but a couple one-offs, man. My favorite is definitely Andrew McCutchen. The man has just been crushing double-digit hits. And, man, probably his last – let me go ahead and pull up the game log. Double-digit hits in the last 3. And then if you want to take the game against the Marlins on the 8th out, he has another 3 in his last 4. So the man is seeing the ball really well. We all know he crushes lefties. I'm looking for a couple doubles tonight. Hopefully he goes yard. That'll be great. Next bet, I like the man Gary Sanchez, dude. I like him batting in that 6 hole too, man. It gives him a lot more opportunities for RBIs. And the Yankees are just on fire right now, to be honest. Alex Maris, he's actually a decent pitcher. Talked about him last game, and his last start out, he slick dominated, man. He went ham. I forgot who they was going against. He played against the Tigers, man. He went 6 innings. 9 strikeouts, man. Only didn't give up a run, man. No, he gave up 1 run. So that's really decent, man. I think he's a nice young prospect, man. He's really, really good. I like to watch this man, but I can't touch the Yankees right now, man. I think you're crazy, man, if you're if you're picking him tonight, because the Yankees have just been rolling. But Gary Sanchez, and then last but not least, man, we got to throw in Daniel Murphy. Now, he's the only one that hasn't been on fire, but I think it's turning around, man. He hasn't been striking out a ton. That's always a good sign that a hitter is going to turn it around. I think he's in a decent spot tonight. I like a Washington stack. I like the middle of the order. A lot of chances for RBIs. So I'm locking Murphy in as one of my top picks. And that's going to do it, man. Hopefully this video helped. I want y'all to bless up. Have a good day, man. And most importantly, I want y'all to get to the green line and hit me with a thumbs up. Thank you. Bless up.